Hey, it's John, Stormtracker 16 meteorologist here at WNEP. Thank you so much for joining in on this live conversation. You know, we're not doing this to scare you or hype this up. What we have coming in here is going to be kind of a low-end, kind of a nuisance event. But sometimes it's all about the timing that can create some problems. You know, we're only thinking a general coating to maybe as much as 2 inches of snow is going to be happening here, mainly across the eastern and southern Poconos, as well as down through the coal region. So according to 2 inches of snow, this is northeastern and central Pennsylvania. We can handle this. But here's the situation. The timing isn't great. This is all going to be starting initially as some rain and mixing with some snow at the onset between about 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And then its most intense, and I'll put that in air quotes, is going to be happening during or just before morning drive time, just as the buses are warming up going to pick up your kids. So that's why we're kind of doing this live update, just to kind of give you a little behind the scenes look at things and take you through it step by step. So without further ado, let's jump you over to the maps. I want to show you what it looks like down in Pottsville. You can see that the clouds have rolled in. We're just past that full moon that was on Monday, so we're going into the waning gibbous stage, but of course still very, very bright. And I don't know about you, but I noticed looking out in my backyard and some of these clear nights recently, thanks to the recent snow, looks a little extra bright with the moonlight bouncing off of the snow. So a little interesting tidbit there. I want to show you what it looks like on radar now. So again, not much happening in our neck of the woods just yet, but this cold front is starting to make some southern progress or southward progress. And you can also see this kind of slug of moisture that's coming up through West Virginia, far southern Ohio, and perhaps just starting to squeak into far southwestern Pennsylvania. You can see some of the green blobs starting to show up there. So this whole thing is kind of trending northeast, but also notice it kind of has a bit of an eastward component too, which means that, you know, this isn't all gonna be moving all over our entire viewing area. In fact, it still looks like it's going to kind of scrape on by, mainly down to the south. So let's take you through it hour by hour. So here's what the radar might look like closer to like 1:30 in the morning. And what you can see is kind of a mix of green blobs and some blue blobs in there. So that's some higher elevation snows and some valley rain. So again, at the onset of this thing, probably just a little too warm to support all snow. But kind of watch what happens as we bump you up to like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Notice you're starting to find more of the blues on there, and that's of course the changeover to some snow. So you can see where some of the darker blue shadings are down through, again, the eastern, southern Poconos, down into the coal region too. So these are the areas that'll find the higher accumulations, but again, we're kind of putting a lot of some air quotes because it's not a ton of snow, but again, it's all the timing because this is 6 o'clock in the morning, here's 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I want to bump you up until about 10. So things should be wrapping up by then, really. In terms of how much snow we're looking at, again, it's not much. A general coating or so throughout the Lackawanna and Wyoming valleys. As you get down to the eastern, southern Poconos and into the coal region, that's where you start to find some of those 1 and 2 inch amounts, perhaps as much as 3 if, you know, all goes wrong, as one Joe Snedeker likes to say. So, you know, okay, so it's not a ton of snow, but here's the situation with all that. The temperatures, at least initially when the snow is trying to fall, will be probably a little bit above freezing or really close to it. And then look what happens, you know, as the snow is starting to fall. Temperatures falling into the mid to the low 20s and then into the teens. So that little bit of water that's going to be on the bottom of all this is going to freeze up, and then you're going to get some snow on top of that. So that's why there's at least some concern. Any untreated road is going to be real messy with that little bit of snow on top of the ice. I don't know about you, but you know, my driveway's got a little bit of ice on it now, and even just a little skim coat of snow on top. You kind of forget that the ice is under there, and you can do the old whoop, slip and fall real quick. So easy first steps as you get out into your untreated sidewalks and your front stoops, your decks, stuff like that. And then again, everything's really going to be freezing solid, because not only are we talking about, you know, temperatures tumbling just for tomorrow. I mean, really, it's going to be Friday's going to be really cold right into the start of the weekend too. So all this stuff is going to really, really be freezing up solid. So what you got to know, this light rain snow mix is going to be taking place generally after midnight, kind of ramping up just before or kind of just during that morning commute. It's going to be a coating to 2 inches possible, generally to the south and east of our valley cities. You know, places like Wilkes-Barre down through Plains, up to Troop, down even to Nanticoke. You know, it's generally a coating, half an inch, something like that. But once you get up to the mountains, through the Gouldsboroughs, Thornhurst, Toby Hannis, down to Lake Harmony, and then down in through the Schuylkill too, down through again the Cole region, including Cole Township, places like Tremont, Schuylkill Haven, Origsburg, New Ringgold, New Philadelphia, Port Carbon, Pottsville, Summit Hill in Carbon County, and into Saylorsburg, and down through the Kittatinny Mountains. Probably just in along the Delaware Water Gap between Monroe and Pike counties. That's where you're going to find your inch or two of snow, perhaps as much as 3. And again, all of that is going to be falling on that little glaze of ice that will have formed underneath, because again, the water's going to freeze up, temperatures are tumbling, and you get that little bit of snow on top. So that's why there's at least some concern there for a rapid freeze. Of course, there's still new information that's coming in here tonight. I'm going to be looking over some of the latest guidance, and we've got some extra weathers included in our 10 and 11 o'clock newscast tonight, so we're going to bring you up to date and up to speed on that. Joe's in first thing tomorrow morning, 4:30, at Newswatch 16 this morning. He's going to be keeping you updated on TV with kind of, literally at that point, it's going to be kind of a play-by-play and a blow-by-blow, if you will, of kind of watching things unfold. So he'll be able to keep you up to date with what the roads are looking like. We've got an extra crew that's going to be down in the Poconos early tomorrow morning, giving you a first-hand account of what the roads are going to be looking like. And of course, you can always stay up to date with our latest forecasts on the WNEP app when you're on the go, as well as our Facebook and our Twitter feeds. So again, it's not a big event, certainly nothing like the one that we're just coming out of, which some of you saw as much as 9-10 inches of snow, but it's all about the timing, and sometimes the timing can really kind of ramp up the impact. So again, this is going to be a Thursday morning commute kind of a situation. So again, we'll be seeing you tonight, 10 and 11 o'clock, and of course we've got some extra stuff planned for the morning show tomorrow to keep you up to date and up to speed every step of the way. This concludes this brief live broadcast. Hopefully you have a great night. Hopefully we'll see you on TV, whether it's tonight or early tomorrow morning. Take care.